Okay, I'll give you a phone number.
Can we approve the amount so that he doesn't have to go through?
So
the
moved.
again?
Second.
Motion second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
Got one more thing, and I'm gonna be quiet. We got a quote from Sherman Williams on a paint striper. We've talked about this before. This is not a budgeted item, okay? Randy's done some homework on what it's gonna cost if we contract this out with a private company. Right now, it's gonna cost between $4 and $4.50 per parking space.
So it's 450 and 5.
Yeah, it could be up to 5. But we also, if we do this, and we allow this contract to do this, we have to provide manpower to go out there and sweep the street, and we have to do our own traffic control. We're all gonna have to have people there anyway, until they get done. If we have our own striper, we got our own people already there. This striper can be used for many years to come. We're gonna, did we come up with the bottom figure last time about what it's gonna cost us to do it one time, just for the parking spaces?
I mean, the parking spaces and the trail was like $4,000, and he can buy a striper for $4,000.
Then we'll have to do that every year, $4,000 every year. If we buy the paint striper, we're going to have to come up with manpower, but, that's something we can tackle.
And then $1,800 to do the square.
Right.
Strap.
Then another $2,400 for the walking trail once it's done. That's what we discussed.
We came under
Street.
budget on the truck and the equipment for it, but we'd like to spend the extra money on this paint striper if the council approves.
Is this an item, the first item was pretty important that we improved, correct? The city $400. What I'm trying to get at, we're not budgeted item. It's not your fancy terminology.
Well, exigent circumstances.
There you go. It's not that terminology. We need to wait. The first one was, I feel like, because contractors here are gonna be here. This one
We need to wait and vote on this meeting.
be preferred, if it can be.
I mean, that's fine, we're no rush on this. As far as the striping goes, we look like we can get some of the striping done.
Okay, I do too. So we've got it here, so it's presented, so next meeting we can vote on it.
If I forgot anything.
Let's hope not. All right.
Human
Department
Resource
reports.
Committee's
Yes, sir.
good.
Yes, sir.
We're still working on getting some more information on everything. Building committee, still working on Chamber of Commerce, it should be done next couple days.
Wonderful.
And that would come in $2,000 under what we approved,
Excellent.
at least 2,000.
Sorry about Excellent, excellent. Anything else? Before we go to public comments, I think that's all committee. At this time, it's public comments. Folks, like to speak to the council? Please come up and state your name and address, please.
My name's Jim Bryce, I live at 27, anyway, I live in Hickory Village. I'll get it straight. And I've got some pictures I'd like to pass around, like for you to pass around for me. To give you a little history about what's happened. Of course, before we was annexed, we blacktopped our roads. And right in front of my house was a big tree, and for some reason that tree was left. Well, it died. And the city come out and cut it down, but now there's still a big lane around each side of it. And it's, part of it's still green, I keep it mowed myself. Well, there's one, you'll see in those pictures now, where I'm standing, there's about a 5-inch drop. Where they come around coming from the east, west going east. Then the other lane, you can see where the blacktop is deteriorating around there. And there's bumps in it. And I also got a picture of a dog that was running around out there that wasn't supposed to be. But that's mainly my complaint, that now there's a lot of work needs to be done out there. Those streets are cracked. There's 2 potholes that's been patched or tried to been patched. And you know, we voted for this tax, and we're supposed to get our streets done. And so far, I haven't seen any movement out there. And I was just asking the city council to help us with that problem and take care of it.
We're working on the streets.
They hadn't been working on that one out there.
But I understand that completely, sir. I do understand that. There's a lot of streets in really bad shape. Mr. Carter, he's paving streets and spraying streets, and he is in the process of trying to you know, take care of these problems.
But right now, my understanding is all you would, I mean, even though it's not gonna be blacktop paved right now, you would like to have the crack filled up.
Yeah, I like to have that, because I'm afraid, what I'm afraid of, is some of these young drivers are gonna come around there too fast, could easily be flipped. We got motorcycle riders out there. We got kids on golf carts and stuff, you know, kids on bicycles, and it's a pretty dangerous spot right there.
Mr. Carter would like to,
The asphalt contractor was in town today, and after you called and we had a conversation, he went out there. The weather permitting, they're gonna be in town next week to do their 3 streets, weather permitting, I mean, where they're working and here and everything else. And as they're leaving town, they're going to, well, there'll be 2 trips out there. One's to partially fill the hole.
Okay.
My crew will be there tomorrow, weather permitting, to dig out where the old stump was in the middle. It'll be coned off until they get here, and both of them will be partially filled, and then there'll be an overlay put over, starting just past the stump to the east, and just past the dip there at the yard.
Okay.
It's not gonna, the whole street's not gonna be overlaid, there'll just be a short piece in there.
Well, I appreciate that much. I'm just afraid somebody's gonna get hurt. That's my, and I guess that's my plea, unless there's any questions.
we got a problem solved.
Y'all can have the pictures too.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
With the, Mr. Carter and the committee, would you all care to prepare a good layout, or, I know you got the plan prepared, but give it to the council, give it to, make it available, easily available. I've had several organizations ask about our plan, but put it on paper and really get it out there, so and maybe the paper might even be interested in an article to lay out not just upcoming year, this year, but, you know, short-term and long-term plan.
And I did get the email that you sent out today about the engineers from South Jackson. So we talked about that last night as well.
But yeah, let's get that out, maybe we can get that in here, next meeting, and get this really out in public. Anybody else wish to speak to council?
How you doing, Mayor?
Go ahead, sir.
My name's Harry Gaddis, I live on Hastings. My concern is not having no police officers on it in one shift. You know, 2 or 3 is not enough, especially with everything going on. You know, they rattled my door pretty hard last night to try to get into my house. And I'm telling you, you know, it's not the right house to get into. Either someone's gonna get hurt or someone's gonna get killed. Either it's an officer or it's one of them, you know. And I feel you guys ain't taking that serious. You know, none of y'all have, you know, you guys talk all the time about spending this, spending this, spending this, but there's no police officers out there. And I don't understand it. You know, and it's not just me feeling that way, it's others that's feeling that way too. Why they're not here now, I don't know. You know, and I just feel that you guys ain't taking that very seriously. You know, I hate to lay down at night, 'cause I don't know if somebody's coming through my door at night. You know, I just feel we should have more out there on the ship than 2 or 3.
Well, I agree to some extent, but I also have put in security protection, ADT contract, and just had it installed. I've made arrangements with City Light and Water to, and paid the deposit to have a additional street light, floodlight put up in my area, which is gonna accommodate me and 2 or 3 neighbors, and,
That's the best money I ever spent, was that right?
so, I mean, I'm trying to help the police department in what I'm doing.
I mean, y'all ain't putting nobody on.
But
It don't matter if I got a security system or not.
well,
If I got
the
one
other
officer,
security
if I
system I got is, and
But Roger, what I'm
wait a
saying is
minute,
if I got one
let-
officer that can respond to a call to my house, cause you got
you
another one
call
up
him?
on the, oh, yes, I called him.
And he responded?
Yes, they responded.
Okay.
And, I mean, that's not my complaint. My complaint is you don't have enough out there. That's my complaint. And you ain't taking it serious.
Now, I am too, but there's no way we can afford to have one police officer for
Y'all
every
can sit there all
citizen.
night and tell me you're taking it serious. I don't see it. As a citizen, I don't see it.
We live in the same town you do, I live
I
in my
understand
bed just
that.
like you do.
You know,
Believe me, we're taking
you
it
guys
serious.
have no clue what comes to that dispatch center. None.
There's been many conversations on this council about how to get more.
Then why is
police
something ain't
officers.
being done?
because we're doing the best we can. Mr. Ballard is working on scheduling issues now, he's got, trying to get more people out there, but he's got a limited amount of money.
The money that you heard us spending tonight is earmarked for certain things, and it can't be used for salaries. So,
I'll put it this way, I've been talking to the chief, police department, talked to Captain Trowbridge, and we are exploring shifts, and it may have to add a little money to it to add appropriate policing levels, but that is in the works. It will be presented to council once we iron out some details.
Okay.
It's varying shifts, it might be a 12-hour shift, it may go down to the current shift, but that's what we're exploring, all options.
But we need more than 2 or 3 on, you know?
Mhm.
I mean, 2 or
Well,
3.
What have we always had on, Johnny, 4?
On a good
Or
night.
Sometimes 5 at one time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's what I'm getting at, you know, if you got a bad wreck on one end of town, you got 3 officers on, and then you get someone breaking in a house on the west end of town, and then you're told, well, when I get an officer available, I can send him to you. Always look to me.
Is that what you were told last night?
No, I was not told that. But I'm just saying,
Chief,
what would you do? Would you go pull these officers from the accident? That's the concern I got.
I wish we could hire a dozen officers, but, you know, we're limited. We gotta pay them. And it's a cruel world. I wish it was better. We're just like everybody else. We gotta do what we got to do with. And we're doing the best we can do.
You know, because these guys is breaking in these houses and stuff, you know,
I
I mean,
understand, you know, I lock my
they know
doors
how
every
many's
night.
out there at night, trust me. They know how many's out
I
there,
agree.
you know. It's not that these guys ain't doing their jobs because they're doing a good job. But it's just not enough of them, is what I'm saying.
well, I just got a text message from my wife, someone's messing with our house right now.
There you go.
So, that's why I just had the chief to respond to. So that's how serious we're taking it. It's personal. It's not, we don't live in a different place.
I understand that.
It's personal.
But it's aggravating, you know?
So, we will be taking care of it.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
bringing
you.
it to your attention.
Thank you, sir.
One comment.
Yes, sir.
Updated the committee last night, on the street signs, on where we stand on those. And we've got a number of old street signs already in our possession. And would like to start the process, if the council approves, to offer these for sale to our citizens of Kennett first. We've already had a long list of requests from people seeing us putting a street sign up in their yard, or, you know, the conversations up here and just everything. And what we've done is we've taken, you know, the names down. A couple of the councilmen put their names on, you know, asked for a couple last night. But, you know, to put this out to the public, so, you know, we can possibly dispose of these signs to people that want them.
are they worth anything, Kenny? If they were brought out your way?
Well, I think if you go sell to an individual like what he's talking about, you'll get more money this way.
You're talking about selling them, not
Yes.
giving them.
No, we're talking about selling.
Right.
Okay.
And whatever's left,
More
can be
money.
sold, and, you know, we can pull it off the scrap.
And, you know, what we're thinking about doing is offering them here, on a tiered price on the condition of the sign. And then we could always put them on the eBays and the Amazon and all that type of thing. Because if you look on there for street signs, you know, there's all kinds of things on there that we might be able to sell before we get down to the scrap price. If that's permissible with everybody, you know, we'll look at that.
I would like to add one thing to what he's saying. The money that they raised from the sale of this, we would like to go back in Mr. Carter's budget. We're working on some ideas what to do with the money. But we'll
For more
get
street
first things
signs.
first, yeah. Get first things first, and then we'll see how much money we get, and we'll kind of look at it. They'd like to have the money earmarked to go back into his budget. That can be a
Does
motion.
that need to be a motion?
That can be a motion, already.
Second.
Motion second, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
You know what we were voting on?
No, ma'am.
And right now, it's not as a
I
concern.
know.
He wants those, he doesn't.
Just soldiers, free center.
Rough enough.
You need to run home and check.
We've got a car sitting there right now.
Yeah, let's do that. You
Okay.
Go ahead.
As a continuation on that, I requested from the committee last night that one of my men came up with the idea when we took down the street sign at the corner of Kennett and Cheryl Crow Drive, that we'd be able to donate that to the Delta Children's Home auction to help raise funds for the Delta Children's Home. Would like to make the request that the donation come from the street department employees.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you all.
Sorry.
Anything else to discuss this evening? We have, closed session? Yes. We'll move into a closed session. Meeting is adjourned. Mr. Grove,